In this video, I'll give you a step-by-step plan for landing a Bay Area new grad offer. My name's Dev, and the day I graduated, I landed offers from Amazon, Google, and multiple startups in the Bay Area. You see, there are just two phases to the job application process, and once you look at it this way, recruiting becomes 1,000 times easier. But before I break them down, let me tell you a super quick story. Because this one student's journey will completely rewire how you think about getting hired. Last year, one of my students, let's call him Jack, graduated from a solid CS school. He had a decent GPA, couple of strong projects. He applied to over 300 jobs, but got 0 interviews, nothing. And this wasn't because he was unqualified. In fact, he was miles ahead of most new grads. But his resume was built like every other student's, generic, wordy, and unfocused. And this is where most people mess up. They think recruiting is about how smart you are, but it's not. It's about how clearly you communicate your value in those first 5 seconds, because that's all you get. Let's start with phase 1, getting interviews, because this is where 90% of people fail. Think about it. If you've been applying but not getting interviews, then by definition, there must be something wrong with your resume. Recruiters receive thousands of applications every single day. They don't have time to decode your experience. They skim it, make a call based on their gut feeling, and move on. In those 5 seconds, you either look like a match or you don't. That's why your resume has to be engineered, not just written. And when I say engineered, I mean designed like a system. Clear visual hierarchy, action-first bullet points, keywords that mirror the job posting, quantified impact wherever possible, as much as possible. And here's the truth. Even if your projects are incredible, if your resume isn't optimized for the way recruiters read them, then it's completely invisible. Remember Jack from earlier? He was getting ghosted by every company he applied to. So during one of our sessions, I rewrote his resume line by line by line. We stripped out the fluff, reorganized the bullet points to lead with impact, and we built 3 different versions. First, a software engineering version focused on scalability, APIs, and system design. Second, a machine learning version focused on models, pipelines, and experimentation. And finally, a version for data roles, focused on analytics and infrastructure. 3 versions, 3 different PDFs. Within weeks, he had interviews at multiple tech companies, and within 2 months, he had an offer. That's what happens when you stop writing resumes and start engineering attention. So here's how you can do this yourself. Every time you apply, ask yourself,
what's the real emphasis of this role?
If the description mentions TensorFlow, LLMs, PyTorch, use your AI/ML resume. If it mentions REST APIs, scalability, CI/CD, use your software engineering resume. And if it mentions SQL, dashboards, ETL, use your data resume. You don't need 50 different versions, just 3. Now, this sounds easy in theory, but in practice it's a lot of work. Most people never bother to do this, and that's why they stay stuck. So if you want me to personally rewrite your resume for you and create all of those different variations line by line by line, click the link in the description. Because this is exactly what I do for my clients every single week. Now, once your resume is dialed in and interviews start coming in, you enter phase 2, acing interviews. This is where the real fun begins. But most people don't practice properly. You'll see people grind lead code for months, but then panic once they finally get an interview at Meta. The problem isn't that they're bad at interviews or bad at lead code, it's that they've never trained under real conditions. Let me tell you about another student. Let's call him Aaron. When he started working with me, he was sharp technically, but he'd never passed a single technical round. He'd always freeze. So we set a rule. 5 mock interviews with me before applying anywhere new. After our 2nd practice session, he stopped stuttering. After our 3rd practice session, he got miles better at explaining his code. After our 5th mock interview, he was diagnosing problems faster than me. He eventually landed an offer from Amazon. That's the power of repetition. Now, here's what I tell every student. Stop thinking of interview prep as studying. Think of it like training in the gym. Deliberate reps, progressive overload, and consistent feedback. And I don't say that casually. I train every day. So when you're preparing, first, pick a few pattern drills. Pick 3 to 4 core types of problems. BFS, DFS, trees, sliding window. Second, you can move on to system design. Even for new grads, small-scale designs can show huge maturity. And finally, the most important and third step is to do real mock interviews. Find a friend, a family member, just practice this until it gets boring. If you don't have someone to practice with, that's what we do with our clients every single week. We simulate the exact interviews that top companies run, and we'll coach you until you're unshakable. The best part is that there's no pressure. We hold them over Google Meet. It's super chill. It's just practice so that you can be ready for your real interview. That's the one that counts. Now, here's the twist most people miss. Mock interviews aren't even enough. You also need feedback loops. You need someone to analyze why you struggled with a question. Just like in the gym, if your form's wrong, doing 100 reps is only going to reinforce that. So for Aaron, the student I mentioned earlier, every interview was followed by a full post-mortem. What went well, what he over-explained, and what mental traps he fell into. That's why by the time he reached the real interview, his improvement curve was exponential. And that's when job offers started chasing him. And just to be clear, I've walked this path myself. Back when I was in school, I was juggling the gym, projects, a 5-year relationship, and the most competitive job market the Bay Area had ever seen. You don't need to be a genius, you just need to learn to package your skills. So here's what I want you to do right now. If you've been applying to jobs but not getting interviews, I already know what the problem is. Your resume is killing your chances. If you're getting interviews but not doing well and not getting the offer, then you need real feedback. You need practice interviews with someone who's been through this. So if you're ready to fix both those problems permanently, then my team and I will do it with you. We've done it for countless students already, and now it's your turn. Click the link in the description and book a strategy call to speak with me directly. We'll get on a call, talk about your resume, map out your interview plan, and give you a step-by-step roadmap to a new grad offer. Again, click the link in the description, and I look forward to talking with you soon.